bulk of the student's time from dismissal to bedtime. Even if there was the opportunity to go to bed by 10 p.m., the biological clock in most of these students is not set for them to fall asleep for at least another hour. Research tells us that sleep does not start when you get under the covers, but when your body is actually ready to fall asleep. Another myth is that sleep deprivation can be made up. Lose an hour here and there and make it up later. Once again, research tells us that this is not the case. There is the immediate problem of the short-term effects of education, such as impairments of attention, learning, and memory, along with social and emotional stress and related difficulties. Over a longer period, these problems become chronic and are associated with physical ailments, including the heart, diabetes, obesity, stress, and memory loss. Some claim that students will simply stay up later with the later starting time. Studies do not support this claim. Students either go to bed between 11 p.m. and midnight, or in some cases, even fall asleep slightly earlier because some believe they were less stressed. In study after study, schools that have moved their starting times by 1 hour or more have found student attendance rose, lateness declined, behavioral and emotional factors improved, academic achievement rose, and achievement gaps grew smaller. Students considered below average did measurably better. Teachers reported more alertness in classes, less sleeping, and happier dispositions. Teachers also found more time before school to conduct more parent meetings, common planning time, and staff meetings. Principals reported their office and staff dealt with fewer disciplinary referrals and fewer late arrivals, thus freeing up time for their staff to focus on educational matters. Counselors and nurses reported fewer peer-related problems, improved attitudes, and less stress related to learning problems. Coaches worried about participation when practice and game schedules were shifted to a later time found instead that participation levels remained the same. Students were less tired and appeared more alert. While darkness was concerned in the 1990s, many schools have installed lights on fields and most winter sports are played indoors. Even parents reported fewer early morning confrontations and more opportunity for breakfast conversations, including eating breakfast. Resetting the starting times for us older students is worth this board's attention. To continue to ignore the medical research is to deprive students of every opportunity to make the best of these important foundational years of their education. The board has been paying attention to many of the factors and variables that contribute to improvements in learning and outcomes. Why continue to ignore the foundation for starting each school day off with the optimum physical and mental alertness needed? Thank you.
Is there anybody else that would like to address the board on non-agenda items? Please come and state your name and address, please.
Michael Trincali, I'm a teacher in the district for 15 years, and I'm part of the athletic department and coaching staff. I know this is not going to address the current agenda items, but a future agenda item. Having been involved in the school district's athletic program for many, many years, and most recently as someone who's at every game, I'm sure you've seen me there. The reason I do that, and I do the assigning for all of the people that are going to be working these events, and it's spread around the coaches that are available, and some other things are taken into consideration. But the idea behind the whole thing, that's not a fee. There's no fee schedule for that for me to do that. But what I want to do is I want to ensure that our children have the safest possible environment in games and those type of things, and we don't have issues with disgruntled parents or parents dealing with officials. And we have a great reputation in regards to that. When teams that are visiting us come to our district, they do say that we have some operation. I know there's some questions about how many people are working at a time, and why is this guy always working, or why is that always working. Well, it works out with coaching schedules. Coaches are coaching certain sports, and we try to use as many people as possible. And I do that. I differentiate and try to bring as many people as we can. With that said, I've been involved in athletics for many, many years, also as a coach. Have been through some rough times myself, and had some accusations that were unfounded, unsubstantiated, and created some great turmoil amongst my family and everything else. And it goes back to something that I just want to address. There's a possibility that you may be discussing what we just discussed in regards to the basketball appointment again, only because of what I've seen. And as a future item, if need be, and I'll be at every game, because I do the scorekeeping and the clock keeping, and I've seen some very unprofessional behavior from someone who's both a basketball official and a coach. In fact, I even gave this coach a couple of technical fouls during my referee career and her coaching career. So.
And I deserve it.
But I want to say this, I have no choice, but if it does occur, and it's brought to the attention of the board about some unprofessional behavior, I would be willing to testify on behalf of the aggrieved or the child or someone that's going to actually be the victim of this incident. I have one other thing that I'd like to finish with, and this is on a good note. I want to thank the Board of Ed and Mr. McCoy for helping with something. The Lou Busey Memorial at the softball field was conducted during the spring. And we just recently had a stone, a small, very small stone with a large plaque that spells out all of Coach Busey's accomplishments, which mainly deal with being there for our kids, which I kind of like to think that I do too. And I hope someday I can progress to the point where we have something like that. But it's there. If you'd like to see it, it's behind the softball field. It's extremely well done. It's something that I think we should be proud of, and I think some people in the future will be coming and saying something like that. Again, we do have a good reputation as far as our athletic events go, except in one area. Thank you.
Is there anybody else that would like to address the board on non-agenda items?
I would like to. How you doing, people? James Rockville, I'm not with the school districts and everything, but I'm a working family member, Newburgh. I got family here, and our kids in school. I live by South Junior High. I live in Newburgh, overlook. I see all the children. You see Newburgh. I see a lot of people talk about everything about the behavior, attitudes. Late nights, staying up late night schools. I got little things about saying about clothes, wearing uniforms, school, right? People got a little agenda of fashion going on, kids. It's a little to bullies, right? I've run to a couple parents and teachers of mine right here. School clothing. Maybe with the school, maybe the uniforms now, instead of wearing probably clothes and this and that, you say, Newburgh BOE District School, kids, you know what I'm saying, for schools. And sweats and khakis, whereas the Job Corps has their clothing for khakis and uniforms. Now, it's tax people money, okay? Some people don't have the money because you got other clothing, they could be, school supplies, everything for kids, crayons, and everything, stuff. You gotta think about the rent. You say, you got middle class, low class, you got your high class, everybody got the money. But sometimes things, mothers come through financial. I was just saying, I do pay my taxes, and I do have family who work, but things get out of hand. I was just saying, maybe now, stop being high, pay, even dignity. All right, 4th grade. I say, that beginning of the school year, during the summer, you had all the school supplies, you know what I'm saying, I was clothing-wise for uniforms. All right, the parents take care of everything else, as for, rulers, crayons, computers, right? You get the classes out for the kids, you know what I'm saying? Because when the kids come in, oh, I got all this, I got this, I want to get the style, right? They ain't focused on school, they focus on what they're wearing. Alright, so I want to get that out of the way, you know what I'm saying? Okay, everybody got that side, right? We all got the same clothes, uniform. Okay? I said, people that we work, or Walmart, you say you got your own uniforms. Right? I tell my kids, how you go to school, it's like going to work. Alright, you got to get your education with your mind being built. You don't want you to pay attention to your teacher. Don't worry about what you got or what you're wearing. What the other kids are wearing. I want to say, get that knocked out the way. That's right there starts a little bullying right there, dress-wise, the clothes. Some kids don't got what their other kids got. So I just wanted to bring to your attention, you know what I'm saying, over the years, next year is going on. we got school clothes, say, as, sweats, and say, by the school, Newburgh Law District School, so say, parents get to know the size or whatever, trucks comes in by the school, they say, go get the phone. Hello, this is Newburgh Law District, you know what's going on, okay? You say, you got the school program, you say, for uniform. It got knocked out the way. All right, let's see what happens with that. You still got fascinating classes. And when they go home, they can wear what they want to wear. For right there. All right, so how's the full uniform one? Now, as in, the kids be staying up late or sleeping, I understand, that's our family disrespect, but the kids want time rest, some people probably work overnight, daytime, or mom at home, guys working, and you know what I'm saying? Spend time, quality time. I understand what you're saying. Well, I just don't like that. I know that's what I'm but that was just on for uniform supplies right there. Maybe I will come back again and talk more about that. All right, but, I know it's getting late. I got work tomorrow myself. So I just want to say that.
Thank you. Is there anybody else that would like to address the board on non-agenda items? If not, I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting. We do not need another executive session. We're going to do it another time. It's way too late. So now, motion please. Roll call, please.
Mr. Goodire?
Yes.
Mr. Amito?
Yes.
Mr. Robertino?
Yes.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Mayo?
Yes.
Mr. Menuda?
Yes.
Mr. O'Connor?
Yeah.